At Mercer Island Schools, our job is to prepare students for their future, not the one we experienced as young people.
This is Sir Tekalot's super stylish website. I designed it.
The world is now a diverse, eclectic place, highly wired. That's why our schools embrace a 2020 vision, preparing our students to think, collaborate, and to be creative in an interconnected world.
This is my ceramic piece that I made in art class, and my favorite detail about it is the flower because it represents the cherry blossom tree, which is a big part of the Japanese culture.
There is magic inside these schools for all kinds of kids, and it's happening every day.
Our school is maroon and white. That's the color of our high school. We learn from each other. I like defending. That's my favorite part.
In elementary school, children learn to read at different stages, so we make sure students have personalized learning experiences tailored to their needs.
What we're finding is that our students are coming to school with a strong social language. There's a lot of texting, they're using the emojis in their written work, but we have to educate them in the academic language. Mondo is a Common Core aligned curriculum. It's a comprehensive literacy approach.
We want our kids to be able to think and write, and so part of the curriculum is if I can think it, I can say it, and then if I can say it, I can read it or I can write it.
A cascade of brown waters because her hair is like curly and water like goes like.
So we want them to be able to form complete sentences, read complete sentences, and have that really academic discourse with their peers.
It usually talks about the main character in the first sentence.
He didn't really know that Gavin's cousin's house burnt down.
One of the ways I've grown as a reader is since we do constructor responses, I think that's a better way for me to really understand the story better.
I like how we get to talk about the story after we've read it, and we all stop and think about what happens in the story.
The story is so descriptive that everybody can imagine their own thing. People would have their own opinion about how the story would go.
I think many of my students this year have found at least one or two stories that have really resonated with them, whether it was the traditions theme. There was so much diversity in the stories that we read that it sparked some amazing conversations with the students about what makes them diverse and unique. Our last theme was on force and energy and motion, and so it lit that science fire in a lot of kids and what experiments can we be doing, and so they were seeing that even scientific text can be fun to read, which I think is amazing to find in a curriculum.
As society becomes more tech-focused, students still need to stay empathetic and socially aware, so we give them opportunities to be good citizens and make global connections about the world they live in.
The 7th grade Legacy Project is the capstone for the program. It's in part looking for students to pull from the different learning and skills that they've been doing throughout the year and put it together in one big challenge. But really, it's a project about students building momentum. I can put my brain to work to make change happen. When you guys are thinking of your topics, you might start with something really broad. You don't have to start right away with, this is the problem that will save the world. You can just start with...
My project that I chose to do was delivering vaccines because there's so many people in the world that can't receive vaccines that need them, and that needs to be changed.
There's a really interesting range that, depending on the student, a lot of students trend towards the sciences, that they're looking at gaps in technology, but then other students find cultural connections, that we've seen students frustrated with the underrepresentation of the communities that they've come from, and students that said, hey, we see tons of Western European art all around us, but where is the Japanese art that they've grown up learning about? Why don't I see that when I walk around town, when I walk around school?
I was thinking using drones, kind of like this one. Instead of having this camera here, you could put kind of like little packages of vaccines, like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 or 20, and then just fly it to the next town and people can use it.
So this year we're at the exciting beginning stages of the project where students are starting to wrap their head around what is this legacy project, and where our focus really is on helping them find the right topic.
I think it was a wonderful experience. It kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to what job opportunities, what difference you can make in the world. When you're in 7th grade or 8th grade or 6th grade, you don't really know what you're going to do and with your life, but this project pretty much tells you you can make a difference in the world. You can make your lasting legacy amazing.
We are preparing students for the highest standards in the arts and sciences. Our high school students were among the first in the region to explore artificial intelligence in their AP biology class.
The artificial neural networks are used very commonly in today's society. It's used to program future cars, it's used in the medical field, and it's also used in forensics.
I've always had a strong interest in neuroscience, and the opportunity to work in an area of neural engineering just really kind of caught my excitement, my curiosity.
So in class, we created a class version of the artificial neural network. And what a neuron does is it sends signals from neuron to neuron, and it basically controls how your body functions. So basically that's what we try to do with the artificial neural network, is try to replicate how a neuron fires from one another to show an output.
The program that I did this summer was through the University of Washington at what's called the Center for Sensory Motor Neural Engineering.
Well, our center is really focused on connecting the human nervous system, the brain, and the different parts of the nervous system with technology. We're funded by the National Science Foundation, and the RET, or the Research Experience for Teachers program, is part of a national model of getting teachers into labs, bringing in that engineering perspective, but for the science classroom.
We were looking for a project that would be hands-on, where students would be working with electronics, and there was a very clear and simple application. We study the nervous system and the brain anyway as part of AP biology. So after we got done with that, we looked at how can we represent information in an artificial system, and it was a really nice segue. It carried very well from one to the other, I think.
I got to go to Larry's classroom and watch while he piloted the lesson, and I was completely just blown away by watching his AP biology students. It was just so exciting to see something they had been working on over time, a project-based learning approach to science education, all coming together, and the lights were lighting up in the way that they needed it to.
I think this will actually help me in the future because due to this, I spent countless hours on trying to get the code perfect to work on, and I think it actually made me realize that when I put my mind to something, I could actually figure it out at the end and finish it at the end.
Science is really about understanding the world. Whenever you're exploring and just, doing something that really is new, that you haven't done before, I mean, that really is the essence of what science is all about.
Our students will solve the world's problems. Thanks to you, we are soaring toward our 2020 vision. Because of your involvement and financial support, our students attend some of the best schools in Washington. Students are bringing it. Teachers are bringing it. And you, our families and the community, are bringing it. A good future? Here we come.
I would put, oh God, what the heck? Oh my God.